Hey guys, Sonic 7 back again, and we're back for the next part of our journey. As you can see, I wasted no time. We're right back where we are. We are just bowing before the monument of our first victory. We moved beyond, and just a quick recap. In the last episode, we went through our very first part, which we defined as the beginning of life. So the idea of how you're running around, life is vast and free, there's infinite potential, and there's a lot of people, in this case, influences, whatever you want to call it. So there's pieces of cloth over there that help you advance and help you grow and accelerate. So here we are. We're going to be moving down. There's a nice long bridge here, which I like to think of as, kind of like the jump in your life to a new era. So along with our theme here, we're really talking about one stage of life per level, right? So to me, I really think of this next level as adolescence. So, adolescence, as you can see, there are high aspirations. You are starting to become an adult, and there's expectations of how you can get up. So, if you can see right here, so for the idea of this, that we are starting at a pretty high place. Life has been good to us. We've been developing the way we should. We're pretty far off the ground. But we want to go even higher. As you can see, not all the way to the mountain yet, but in between there's a spot where you can see the slit of light there between the wall that we want to get up to. And that's even higher than where we are right now. Now, the interesting part about this is that just like most people's adolescence and really that rise to adulthood, there's not always a clear path. How do I get from here to there? I can try to jump, but my scarf definitely doesn't have enough power just to make it to the next spot. And even if I make it there, how can I jump to the next spot? Because my scarf will be all used up. So I'm going to try this really quick. So let's try. I'm just going to do a quick hop, and my third hop, and just missed it. Now, obviously, it doesn't come as a huge surprise to me, but just wanted to show how the developers really actually thought of their stuff on this. So what we're going to want to do here is, if you see here, there's a lot of different containers around here where we can hold the circle button here. What this is going to do is dissolve off this cloth, which will then release a lot of the other pieces of cloth, and they're going to build a bridge from the ground going up. And so I think the way I can really make this an interesting Let's Play in a lot of ways is that I can talk all I want about what this game I think means to me, but in a lot of ways, let me also tell you why I think it really rings true with me, is that when I was, and when I'm talking about adolescence, I'm talking about your, 14 to 16-ish range. You're not young, you're not too young, but you're not old. You're still maneuvering your way, you're still learning your way in a lot of ways. And for me, when I was in that age, I think there were a lot of ways in which I was probably struggling. I had very clear sights of things academically, so, where I wanted to go to college, what I wanted to do, how I was doing with my classes. But I think in a lot of ways, socially, I felt lost. I really did. And I think there was a lot of times where, introspectively, I didn't always know what was the best thing to do or where to go. And the reason why I'm walking around so much right now, guys, by the way, is just so I can collect the other scarf pieces. And I think there was a real point where I probably would have lost a bit of my path, where I felt that I was, if I hadn't had the support of some of my very, very good friends and my parents, and also in a lot of ways, just like my mentors. So like people who for instance, teachers, things like that, like just people who really went out of their way to see that things were going the way they should for me. And with this, we're going to use the support of others, got the idea there, to get stronger. I didn't actually even mean for that tie-in to happen, but it kind of worked out too perfectly. So I think, especially when I think of myself like 14 to 16, like there was a very big change in my life, which was that I I think I had very good intentions, but I think I came off as selfish in a lot of ways. I had a hard time kind of doing something if it wasn't always in my best interest, or I guess even to say that better, just like doing something if I didn't want to. So hey, let's watch this show. No, I'd rather watch this show, or things like that. And I think I was just kind of used to it because I had mostly just grown with my parents. I had a very great relationship with them, and I think in a lot of ways I kind of looked to them in the absence of other friendships. And I think I really had to take a look at myself to say that sometimes relationships are more about giving than receiving. I think it was a really big realization for me at the time to understand that and really kind of take that to heart. I think one other thing for me is that just kind of like this level, I did feel a bit lost. I think I felt a bit alone and empty because I think it's so easy to say things like, classes have gone well, I have a great relationship with my parents, what's not to like, what's not going well, right? I was doing well in my sports, I was studying well for the SATs, like everything seemed like it was going the way that it should. But I didn't feel satisfied. I didn't feel like complete in a lot of ways. And with this, we're unlocking another part of the bridge here. And what I realized, and the reason I guess why I'm saying this is, I know in a really silly way it kind of ties into the level here, but I found out that I really couldn't get where I wanted to be, which was not some overall goal of being successful, of getting to a good college, all that other stuff that I had always thought of, but I realized I couldn't get to where I got, or even where I am now in a lot of ways of like my happiness, if I didn't embrace others. And I think if I didn't really try to give it a chance to be more than just myself, but also try to be myself and what others can give me, and really see the power in that. So I'm going to give a bit of a shout out here to one of my friends, because this was the friend who really, I think, dragged me out of this, and really was in a lot of very, very, very silly, symbolic ways. That bridge for me, who really helped me grow and also change. So his name is Aakash, and I definitely think that if I had not met him, I might still be feeling lost, because I've always been successful academically, and I've never had any trouble with that, and I've been fortunate enough to be like athletic enough where I feel better than average on it. But I never really felt like I had someone who was my true friend, and someone who I felt like I really had a friendship that could last until him. And in a lot of ways, it was complete random luck that I met him, just like a lot of friendships are. But I think there was something that I found with him, specifically, let's just say in the 14 to 16 age, which was I saw that whenever there were things that I wanted to do, he would give. And then he would very seldomly ask for things in return. He would very seldomly say, let's do what I want to do, not what you want to do for once. And you would think that if that's the case, what's going to change your mind? What's going to make you, see the other side? But I think it really was just, after a while, I just learned just how fortunate I was to have someone like him in my life, that it makes you want to be better for the other friend and really kind of generate that friendship. And to kind of wrap up this story, through that friendship, I was able to get from where I started at the beginning of my adolescence and where I really felt like I was alone and didn't know that next path, to being given an opportunity to really raise my experience and just, my own happiness to get to where I really wanted to be, which, just as this level, was even higher up. And as you can see, again, we collected all 3 pieces of the scarf. We're going to go bit by bit here. Set these beacons, and then over here, set these beacons. And as we're wrapping up, and we're going to get to our last portal spot here to end up the level, I just want to stop here and just say that there'll be more stories about my life as we keep going, but for now, thank you so much, Aakash, for your years of friendship. And if you ever do watch this video, I really do appreciate it. Alright guys, so let's see what they got here. Okay, so we see this mystic again, and he's going to be showing us the next piece, which is that we've made our ascent up. But what we're going to be encountering next is what seems like it even... Oh, so this is basically what we just did. We climbed up the 4 peaks here. And now we're going to be... looks like we're taking a journey. Taking a journey, got it. So basically, I think it's just the idea of how we're really transporting ourselves to just the next step. It doesn't look like we're making much of a climb, it just looks like more of a longer trek to get to somewhere new. Okay, so with that, guys, we have finished the second step of our journey, and we're going to be stopping here. In the next episode, we'll be progressing to the next stage and getting our next piece of that journey, our next piece of life. But to wrap up here, in this episode, it was really about adolescence, early adolescence, let me correct that. You're starting to really come into control and really starting to see that there's somewhere that you want to be, but you're not always sure of the way to get there. But if you look hard enough and you believe in others and you let them help you and give yourself to them in that real kind of beautiful give and take relationship, you can get to places that you thought maybe weren't possible before. And you can look back and say, wow, I'm really high up and I can see my house from here. Alright guys, this has been Sonic 7. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.